Farm is a movie I will say has a clean production. I don't even know why there's no hype about this movie, because it is what every hype it could actually get. Whoever is in charge of casting for this movie should be given an award, because that is one of the reasons I love this production. They got the right. Adanna was the weapon fashioned against Dr. Evans' foundation. Adanna is the... I saw this scene, I said, child, see this movie that I like, they just broke my heart here. Dearest Insiders, welcome back to another episode on the Nollywood Insiders. I'm super excited as always, and today I will be reviewing a Nollywood movie that is so dear to my heart. I had such a great time watching this movie, and for the first time in a long while, I realized that I didn't actually waste my time. This is Baby Farm. It is an EbonyLife production, and yes, this is when you say going out of the box and actually doing something new, and it ends up being interesting. Most times when people say, oh, I'm going out of the box, I'm doing something different, it's always something weird. But Baby Farm is a lovely movie to watch. Let us go straight into the storyline. Baby Farm, as the name is, basically talks about a white man and a white woman in Nigeria who fronts that they own a foundation, you know, where they let women who are pregnant come, get shelter, get food, and all that they would ever need until they are able to give birth and stuff. That's what they front to people outside. But internally, they take these women for captive, they give them everything that they need, the healthcare that they need and stuff. But once they give birth, they sell these children and impregnate the women again, and they get pregnant, keep giving birth, they keep selling the children, and you know, they're just there. They can't go anywhere aside from, it's more like a prison for pregnant women. So it basically borders around the life of a young woman, Adanna, who has a boyfriend, gets pregnant, you know, the mother is so upset, you know, the normal cliche of what happens to young pregnant women. And so she goes to find the man because he had actually left the village. She runs away from home to Lagos trying to see him, ends up not seeing him, to this foundation for pregnant women, and she goes in there thinking that, oh, she has finally found somewhere to, you know, stay and give birth to her child safely, only to realize that she's a prisoner, and there are other women who are going through this dilemma, and it's just so heartbreaking. She tries to escape, she tries to expose them. So the movie borders around all the drama that comes with it. With that being said, as a storyline, you should know that this movie is very interesting. It is something, like I said, something different. Nollywood is always mostly about love, 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 love. But this movie tells us about things happening in the society that needs to be seen or known by people. So just like the movie Oloture, like I said, borders around things happening in the society that people don't actually talk about, but they actually exist. Yes, so Baby Farm is one of those movies, and kudos to EbonyLife production. It was a lovely one to watch. Baby Farm is a movie I will say has a clean production. I'm using the word clean because, hear me out. So it takes one thing to have a smooth production where you get all the shots you need, shoot all the whatever you need to shoot. Then it comes to editing, and they do a great job. That is Baby Farm for you. Whoever did that video editing needs to get extra payment. It was just so clean, so neat. It is one of the cleanest, I don't know why I'm using the word clean, but you know how you do something and it is so perfect. It is one of the cleanest production I have seen in a long while. The contrasts, the color grading, everything about this video was perfect. Kudos to the video editor. So let us talk about the characters and their performances. The protagonist of this movie is Rita Dominic. I feel so happy to see her in a movie production. It's been a while. She's one of the legends of the Nollywood industry, and I felt so happy to see her in this production. She played the role Cherise Ugo, Nigerian celebrity, is an actress, very popular, lives abroad, she's breaking through Hollywood. I didn't really feel her character in the second scene. I just couldn't connect with her, because one thing about movie production is trying to connect with the characters as they act, as they do their thing and depict their life. We are meant to connect with them. That's one thing with movies. I didn't really connect with Rita Dominic's character in the first and second scene. I don't know what was the reason. Maybe it was personal or something, but after the third scene, I actually started to connect with her. I don't know what exactly happened, but I just didn't feel the vibe of her character. But she did a great job. Kudos to Rita Dominic. It's good to see you, and I hope we get to see so much more of you in subsequent Nollywood movies. Next up, we have Adanna, played by Onyinye Okoro. She did a fantastic job. She's the main character. She's depicted the lady who got pregnant and had to leave home to search for the man who said that he loves her and stuff. And I don't know, this lady ate and left no crumbs. You could feel the emotion, you could feel the pain, you could feel the suffering, you could feel the emotional damage she was going through. You could feel the love for her children. Oh my God, take your flowers, Onyinye, take your flowers, well deserved. I wish and hope to see you in subsequent Nollywood movies. You are a great actress, I must say. Let us talk about Genoveva Ome. She played the character Abudu, and it was just so good to see her play that role. She did it so well. That is one of the reasons I love this production. They got the right cast to depict the character, and Genoveva was just so good. She's that young lady whose stepfather was raping her. She eventually got pregnant, and that's how she got to the foundation. And you know, she's trying to figure out how to go about her life. She keeps having miscarriages, keeps, you know, not giving birth to any child. But then they've taken her up as a daughter. You know, she's just mentally derailed to think that, oh, this is her new family. She has no other life. She cannot survive anywhere else. And then she's just their puppet. Yes, she did a great job. I think everybody should go see the movie Baby Farm. It is a good one. It is worth the watch. I don't even know why there's no hype about this movie, because it is worth every hype it could actually get. So talking about Dr. Evans, who is the white man who owns the foundation, it was played by Langley Kirkwood. He did a good job. He was supposed to be the wicked person who is ready to kill any woman who is not falling in line, whether you're pregnant or not, who just wants to keep making babies, keep making money, and live the best life. In fact, in this foundation, if you rebel or try to leave, once you give birth, they will just kill you. So that's how bad and how wicked it is. And if anybody is trying to draw attention to the foundation, they will have you killed. I didn't really feel the wickedness vibe. He did a great job, but I would have expected more. I wanted to have more of, you know, I don't know the right word to use, but more agility with the wickedness. Exactly. Yeah. So let's talk about Sister Barbara, played by Jenny Stead, also a white woman, the wife of Dr. Evans. And she's supposed to be this godly woman who, you know, wants a better life, but she's not in support of all the killings going on and stuff like that. She's always the one appealing to the husband, don't kill her, don't do this and stuff. And she did a good job. Well done. That was a good job. Well done. Whoever is in charge of casting for this movie should be given an award, because the person got the right people. It was just such a good watch. So there are some things in the movie that I want to talk about. First things first, let's talk about the Nigerian police force. Nollywood movie, over time, they don't hesitate to tell the entire world how corrupt the Nigerian police force is. I know that is kind of our reality. I've not actually had any police case or whatever it is that would involve me with the Nigerian police force. Thank God for that. But of course, we've heard people's testimonies and what they have to say on the road, at the station. Nollywood always tells the world that Nigerian police are corrupt, they are nonchalant, they are lackadaisical towards doing their job. But then I've observed that whenever it involves someone very important, they always swing to work. For example, the movie Tokumbo, a very high official's daughter got kidnapped, and the entire police force, the radio station, the TV station, the newspapers, everybody's hand was on deck trying to find her and bring her home. But then in Baby Farm, the police officers are so lackadaisical. Not just Baby Farm, a lot of Nollywood movies, Nigerian police force are always corrupt. You know, you go to report and then they take you for granted, they assume things, they send you out. Sometimes they even arrest you illegally and stuff like that. I don't know what to say, but I think Nollywood should do something better. At least somebody should shoot a movie where Nigerian police force were actually doing their job. We know it might not be our reality, but let's shoot it as a hope for a better Nigeria. There is an adage that says, every day for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. Adanna was the weapon fashioned against Dr. Evans' foundation. Adanna is the is the pepper you should not have added inside your soup. She is just that one person you wish you never came in contact with. Dr. Ivan says he has always known that Adanna was trouble and stuff like that, and indeed she was. All the drama that came the moment she entered into that foundation exposed them, and it was a good thing to watch. So this is me telling you that is doing that thing that is not good. You are doing fraud, or you're doing something that you know you should not be doing, because every day is for the thief, and the day the owner comes for you, you would either be in jail or be somewhere that you should not be. If you are watching this video, this is God telling you ahead of time that the owner of the house is coming very soon. So repent and amend your ways before Adanna comes into your life. The story tells us that Adanna came to Lagos to look for the love of her life, who had ran to Lagos when she told him that she was pregnant. And then she goes to the address that she was given. He wasn't there. And then she has to find her way around life in Lagos. Questions that I'm asking about the movie. How did Adanna come to Lagos today, realize that her boyfriend is not in the location that she was given, and then that same day she gets a job? People are looking for jobs in Lagos. So I don't know what kind of luck that she has, but for someone who is new to Lagos and who just arrived, getting a job the same day, how did she get the contact of the woman that she was in, on the interview with? How did she get to meet her? Did she see a poster or something? Because the scene just went from her going to the address and the boyfriend wasn't there to her being in an office where she's being interviewed. How did we get there? The story didn't tell us, but I don't think it is realistic. You cannot come to Lagos today and find a job today, except luck is really, really on your side. So the cinematography of this movie was lovely. I loved it, especially the drone view of the moment Adanna comes down from the car that brought her to Lagos, and the drone view from her head to the environment, the sky. It was just so beautiful. I had to go back and watch that view again. It was lovely. I love drone views, and I really hope we can inculcate that into a lot of our movies and not just the usual camera landscape stuff. Let's do something drone is always good for production. Movie producers should take that. Special accolade to Abudu. She is the mama of EbonyLife Studios and one of the writers. She's also the executive producer of this movie. And I must say that she did such a lovely job in this movie. And right now, I'm giving accolades to whom accolades is due. Miss Abudu, well done. Take your flowers. So this is a special note to Nigerian parents. Adanna felt rejected, heartbroken, not just because she was pregnant and the man had gone. At the time, she didn't even know that the boyfriend had gone. But the reaction of her parents, especially her mother, was what broke her the most. Yeah, it is okay. It is okay to get upset that your daughter got married out of wedlock, but these things happen. Aside from the fact she knows that she's pregnant, that alone is already heartbreaking for her as a human being. Knowing that you're carrying a child that you're not ready for is just a weight itself. Don't add to it. I know you're heartbroken, but be supportive. Yeah, this movie made me know that, yeah, it's so heartbreaking and Nigerian homes can actually actually do better. Let me talk about the character Cherise Uko, played by the phenomenal Rita Dominic. She wanted a baby. She had 5 miscarriages and it was just taking a toll on her. I know I've not been in that shoe, but I'm just imagining what it means to almost carry your child 5 times and every of those times they slip off your hand. And this is me saying a special prayer to every woman out there who is desiring to carry their own child, and I'm hoping and praying that God Almighty would grant you your heart desires, and before the end of the year, hopefully you'd have your child in your arms. Towards the end of every Nollywood movie, it always looks like they are rushing. Where are you rushing to? Who is pursuing you? Why are Nollywood producers, story writers, why are they rushing movies at the end? In fact, at the end of the movie, you will notice that even the actors, they are rushing. I don't know. Did they use rushing to swear for Nollywood? Because you carefully tell a story and then towards the end, it looks like you have a timeline. You're trying to merge everything all together. You're trying, the foundation is finally everywhere. You know, someone dies and is exposed. You want to see how they got exposed, go and watch the movie. And then, there's trouble in the foundation. Adanna insists on her child. Then she gets a gun from the office and she's blackmailing Dr. Evans' wife to take her to where her children is because she gave birth to twins. And I saw this scene. I said, child, see this movie that I like. They just broke my heart here. In the scene, they are at the lobby and the chief security is talking to every other person looking for Adanna. And in that same scene, these people are being dispersed to go and look for Adanna. And in that same scene where they are being given instruction by the chief security, the same Adanna is holding a gun beside Sister Barbara and they are walking out. How is it that they did not see them? Crazy. If the scene was they were giving instructions and everybody had gone to their different perimeters to look for Adanna, nobody was in the lobby again, and then she walks out with the wife to Dr. Evans, that's better. That works. But the people who are looking for her are right there. And she walks past them. How is that even possible? And then towards the tail of the movie, that was where my heart was a bit broken because there were a lot of things that were not really adding up. You walk into a hotel, a very popular hotel for the rich and stuff like that, with a gun right beside somebody, and the camera doesn't catch you. You know, no one suspects any strange movement. Okay, fine. And then you walk into the hotel room. Eboons and the other lady walks into the hotel room without the man seeing them. Hotel rooms in places like this are always locked and you have to get a key to come in. So how did they sneak into the room? The door was not open. And how is it that they sneaked exactly when the man turned around? It's not realistic. Just wasn't adding up. But in general, the movie is a good one to watch. I just feel like most of these little things that, makes it more realistic should be put in place, because I don't understand how Ebu knew the exact floor where Dr. Evans was with the baby, how they knew the exact room where they were with the baby. This is an intercontinental hotel that is well structured, so with different floors. So how did they know this? It's just crazy and wasn't adding up. But in general, Baby Farm is a good one to watch. So the costume department did a great job with the costume, especially with the costume of the makers. That's the women in the foundation that are giving birth to children. The pinkish one was looking like a primary school uniform though, but it was a good one. They would have done better, but last we moved. The costume for the actresses, the actors, those ones were perfect. It was lovely. And one of the major things I love about this movie is the fact that there was a lot of conflict. You'll be at the edge at almost every single time. You are scared that this is going to happen. Oh, there is a problem again. That is how movies should be. A lot of conflict, so that people who are watching would want to keep watching, would, have expectations, and sometimes don't meet up with their expectations. That's one of the secrets to making movies. When people expect that this should happen, make sure that your script says it doesn't happen, and people will be glued to your screen or to your movie. So my rating for the movie Baby Farm is a solid 7.5, and if I give a movie anything beyond 6 or even beyond 7, it's a very, very high rating. And yes, Baby Farm is a well-deserved solid 7.5.